Tonight, from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
The usual sea of red here in this venerable stadium has been turned white as we are high above snowy Arrowhead Stadium in KC. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
What we can see of the ball appears to be teed up and ready to go. And we are underway from Kansas City. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Now it's 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. From the gun, a give to Brown. Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Burrow. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I need to see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs are going to get it back here just past the 35. So we see it right here in the opening drive. Throwing the football in these snowing conditions is going to be very, very tough. You wonder if they're going to rethink the aerial attack going forward.
It will be interesting, and it'll be a debate because most of the quarterbacks that we know, they believe they can throw through anything. They don't care if it's rain, snow, it doesn't matter as long as they get a chance to throw the football. And I think a lot of coaches think that in these conditions, let's throw it early before things get worse.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They go with a former Bengal facing his old mates. It's Samaje Perine.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. They'll run again with Perine. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Burrow will throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not just looking at tendencies anymore. We're looking at analytics, and I've got to think the analytics on 3rd and 1 say run the football.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And that hits the crossbar and comes back no good. And by just a couple of inches, this remains a scoreless game. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They run it with P. Ryan on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll get this out to his running back, P. Ryan. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a 1st down.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Now he'll escape to his left. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when they decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
A run by Pacheco on second down. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations than 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
5 yards from the end zone, 1st and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates. I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was all capped by Patrick Mahomes using his legs to get in the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll set up a throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Pacheco gets it again on second down.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Well, definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. Now Mahomes gives to Hunt, and he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Kareem Hunt taking it in from a yard out. And the Chiefs have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. The Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now they're a little further behind the 8-ball after the interception led to the touchdown. So a 2-score deficit here, 1st and 10. Going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, here we go. I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Another run for Brown on second down. And still about 3 yards shy of the first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here's 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 44-yard line. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here we go. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive, as this is 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked by Logan Wilson. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Mike Gesicki, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals have got it back to within a score. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A solid stiff arm. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Mahomes to throw.
Pass taken in by Pirine.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam coming out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 6.
Now here's Mahomes.
Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36. A nice pickup of 17 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Mahomes firing complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there. And they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Mahomes going to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Mahomes now to throw.
A throw right side taken in by the tight end Bray.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Mahomes.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. After 17-7 the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. Running right, here's Brown. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. That now brings up a very interesting identical situation on 3rd down.
Yeah, people couldn't see us on camera, but I love how you motioned to me like, throw the ball. This is a great shot to take it. 2nd and short. Maybe take a big shot downfield. Instead, they ran it. Didn't work out for them very well. They should have listened to you, partner.
Burrow on 3rd down. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll set up to throw. Being chased out left. He finds Pirine out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down with a penalty flag on the field. It was a late decision to throw, and it might have been too late. So since that last gain did not get a first, they'll decline the penalty there and force a 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Here's Williams to return. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Open man is Yoshibas. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Ryan Rico now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. KC's offense ready to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Mahomes.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's Pacheco headed right. Taken down at the 42.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42.
He'll look to throw. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end, can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Back to throw.
Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Last play they went over 20 yards. This time they top 30.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Hunt is in. Touchdown, Chiefs.
And this is where you can't help but think about our friend, the coach, the late John Madden, because this was his kind of football right here. Line them up and let them get after it down in the trenches. And as a running back, you just need that one crease, one sign of daylight. He finds it, and he barrels into the end zone. Touchdown, coach, just like you would draw it up.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drives 7 plays in length. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Man open left side is Brown. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's the 2nd down and 6. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Looking downfield, he's got all the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of the play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No 1st down.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now Mahomes. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide, because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Madden rising now on to punt this one away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here we go.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. On 1st and 10, here's Brown to about the 35, 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
2nd down and 6 now. Option play. Here's a give to Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. This is Brown going up the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And now they will throw it with Burrow. This one complete to Yoshibas. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
We dominate today.
First down, Cincinnati.
Gun. Cut.
looking to pass. Throwing for Chase on the crosser. He's got it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll motion out one of the tight ends. Here's Brown on second down. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Chase Brown taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are able to cut into that deficit. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
McPherson on for the point after. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Dropping it off underneath. Here's Pirine. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Mahomes now on 1st down. That'll be caught by Rice. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. From midfield, here's Mahomes. That one caught by Rice. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. To throw, it's Mahomes. He finds his man, complete. That's Rice. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Second and 5. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. P-Ride. No signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll go to P-Ryan, trying to pound it in. And this time he is in. Samaje P-Ryan punching it in from a yard away. And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Sometimes offense, if you get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Butker on for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Samaje P-Ryan. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen, put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. First down. Here's Burrow. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Second and a couple. Burrow will throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that is incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. The snow certainly making conditions difficult, and it's not likely to get better anytime soon, as we turn it right back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not too many breaks ahead according to the radar. More snow on the horizon as we are back underway in half number 2. This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
On first down, Mahomes setting up the screen to Pirine. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying for it with Pirine. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now 2nd and 5. Now here's Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
They're going to empty the backfield here, so you know this ball's likely to come out quick. They let the 4 outside receivers run deeper routes and then let the tight end just make a beeline across the formation. He's able to make the catch and turn it into good yardage and a first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. Mahomes going to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. There's Sam Hubbard that time in there to bring him to the ground.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Throwing now is Mahomes. On the move past the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. they're going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 26. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. Now Burrow. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And the Chiefs are going to get him. George Karlaftis, his 2nd sack of the night.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now they'll fake the jet sweep and off play action. Here's Mahomes. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game, and when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Now Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy once again. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Mahomes now to throw. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand They've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That was short one to Gesicki. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on his team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Burrow on his toes that time as they get the 1st down.
He's been patient this entire game, waiting for the perfect moment to surprise them with a quarterback keeper. There he catches him off guard and converts his first rush of the game into a 1st down. Gotta love that efficiency.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. An inside give, Brown. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's Burrow. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
87 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast and in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, right at the 40. Now it's Burrow. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Big 13.
Now it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 27-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Zone coverage here defensively. They're going to let their tight end run a drag across the field. This is where a linebacker gets forced to pass him off. That time, the receiver gets lost a little bit, and he's able to make the catch and pick up good yardage and a 1st down.
Here we go. 180.
Again, it's Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gainaway. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 19-yard
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Open man is Yoshivas. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. From the gun, a give to Brown. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against the secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. And the Chiefs are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
The Chiefs offense set to go. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 5. Now back to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Up the middle, here's Pirine. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They're a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Mahomes now on first down. Now throw right side, taken in by the tight end, Bray. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 30. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Pacheco gets it up the gut. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Second and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
The safety position continues to evolve into a bigger role in run defense than in the past. They certainly love to have him drop down and get aggressive in bringing ball carriers down behind the line of scrimmage. Not many bigger stops than that one right there.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll pass there over the middle to start things out. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Burrow looking to pass. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of the game by Higgins, and he's got his guys at 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Chiefs are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation points, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 42. It's P-Ride to begin the drive. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The same outcome on 3 straight plays. All runs of 4 yards. The last one gets him a 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. To throw, it's Mahomes. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4.
this were baseball, we call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And the lead will remain at 23. Cincinnati set to take over once again. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this 4th quarter deficit. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
98 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to... And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Jamar Chase from 4 yards out. And the Bengals get a bit closer.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Burrow and the Bengals offense staying put. They'll go for 2 here. They'll try and run it here. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied.
I have to admit, I love the excitement of the 2-point try. You know, to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it was unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated. I just realized that I stole both of your pins in this last game. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for 2.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 49 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Hand off here for Pirine. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Yeah, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a 1st down, a nice consistent gain.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, if the clock stops with every 1st down, it actually aids the defense in that situation.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. He'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
On the handoff, it's Pacheco. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
The tackle made back at the 25-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, it's Pirine. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Fourth down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. And this one a 41-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
First down. Here's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Burrow will throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To the air again, Burrow. And he's taken down, a cheap sack. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Here we go.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. They're going to look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.